Hey guys, this is Brad with Geek, and if this is your first time checking us out, we are a local podcast and online show that is all about everything nerdy. We have a lot of fun getting to go cover pretty much most of the major conventions. Comic book, anime, pop culture, sci-fi, the full spectrum really. And
hopefully horror next year.
Yeah, that is one of our goals, is to be able to hit up the horror conventions.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great. But today we are here to open up the first live audience podcast in the Dallas Public Library's new creative spaces. So, Mike.
Oh, now you remember my name? You didn't want to, throw my name out in the intro, but now you remember me?
Well, to be fair, I don't even think I said my own name. Do you want to tell everybody?
Hi guys, I'm Mike from Dallas Geek. Normally Brad does both of us names and stuff, but yeah, I guess, he's, off his game today. But yeah, so what are we doing today, Brad?
So we are actually getting to check out this awesome setup for the storytelling or story center. What Kristen, what's this called?
This is the Story Center.
Story Center.
Get it right, Brad.
Well, I should know it's in big letters here at the back of the room.
Oh yeah, look at that. You had a cheat and you still got it wrong. Good job. Part of this Story Center is, obviously this is the middle of the room, the podcast setup with 3 currently, but there is a 4th microphone available to use. And to top it off, you have and then on top of that, you have a green screen over here. You have some typewriters, some writing spaces, pretty much anything you need to be able to actually make a story to tell people about. And in fact, Kristen, you are the one in charge of all of this. Would you like to tell our audience a little bit about what the purpose of all this is and what your hopes are for it to become?
Okay, so the Story Center is a place for people to tell their stories, real or imagined, in any way they see fit. So if they want to write or make videos or podcast, oral storytelling, we want to support it all. Any way people want to get what's in their head out. Well, not anyway, but mostly. That's what we're here for. So we have a lot of really cool ideas. We want to be able to teach people how to use the equipment first and foremost. It's going to be a learning experience for all of us, our customers and staff together. But it's going to be really good, and we want to be able to even help people with the workforce side of things. So if it's going to be telling your story through a job interview or through a resume or something like that, we have opportunities to do that. And we also are a huge fan of oral storytelling and traditional storytelling and folktales and that kind of thing. So we want to work with that in some capacity. And you guys, am I missing anything?
I can't really think of anything else. I think we got it.
Okay, all right.
Oh, MC, as one of our patrons out there, can you remind us of stuff? Zines, we'll make zines out there.
Sure. So, I do have to say that one of the cool things that you guys have available, and you've actually been the one, Brittany, to point out how cool this is. As part of this space, one of the things that'll be available to anybody in here is the full Adobe Creative Suite for them to be able to use for editing, video, photo, the full gamut.
Yeah, we have an iMac that we have in the actual studio. It has the entire suite on there. Not all the programs are on there currently because we're waiting to see if anybody is interested in doing anything involving the Illustrator or 3D modeling, any kind of comic illustrating. If anybody wants to do that, we have that too. But right now we're focusing mostly on Premiere and Photoshop and any kind of video audio editing. But we still have it.
Nice. So of course, with all these options available, what do you guys see as being the
the biggest benefit of this space in particular to the outgoing community? Is there a particular group that you want to be able to really attract in, or any types of projects that you would like to see start popping up in here?
I think it's just something that the community really we want them to use it in any way they can. We've had people ask about booking for podcasting already, for instance, and that kind of thing, whether it's, teaching how to do it, or people making their own individual stories, or helping people in some capacity. We just want to be here and to kind of have the equipment and the things that maybe people aren't able to have at home, or to be able to give an opportunity for people to utilize this in Dallas is really pretty amazing. So
awesome. Now, of course, the Story Center is only one of 3 new spaces that opened up as part of this Creative Spaces project. Now, the other 2 that we didn't get to see earlier were the Genealogy Center up on the 8th floor.
Heritage Lab, yeah.
Heritage Lab, and then, of course, the Fiber Arts Studio on the 4th floor. Now, just starting with the top down, the Heritage Lab. Now, that was actually something that's really cool, that is an open project setup where the library is going to be having its own projects going on, trying to digitize the history of the local genealogy records and all that. But then, of course, most importantly, the public is going to be able to bring in their own family historical documents, media, to be able to digitize and record. If they would like to volunteer to donate that information, I know that is available, but just being able to have that access is really, really cool, because especially for the media side of that, the trying to record old cassette tapes, or Super 8, or VHS tapes is not the easiest thing to be able to do anymore, because the hardware just isn't available to record and keep it preserved. So the fact that that is available here is really, really nice. But I know to a lot of our viewers, the 4th floor is going to be one of the big highlights, the Fiber Arts room.
The cosplay floor.
Yes. Now that, I will say, is really awesome, because one of the things that I know Mike and I have come across with a lot of cosplayers we talk to as being a difficult thing to be able to get into cosplay is having the space to be able to actually make things, or more importantly, having the tools to be able to sew and create costumes, and be able to have that space available, with, so much space available, but even to have it with the sewing machines and some sample fabrics, and even bigger, a community already there to help give some tips and tricks and assistance whenever something comes up that you don't know, but maybe somebody else in the room does. That sounds like it is a fantastic thing to have. So I know that is going to be a massive, massive thing that, especially with so many conventions being downtown, that's going to be so cool to have right here. But whose idea for the Story Center was it to be able to add the green screen of all things? Like the podcast setup, that makes sense. Writing, cool. Whose idea was it to add the green screen to see what would happen?
God, I wish it was me.
I don't really remember, honestly.
Yeah, we were just going over things that people could use to record stuff, and the green screen came up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And green screens are so fascinating, right? Because you could be anywhere when you're in front of it, and I think that was part of the kind of excitement of getting that in here, and different ways to really utilize the space, because a lot of the stuff we have, the room is pretty big, and an iMac is a large computer, but it doesn't take up very much space on its own. So it's what can we put up that would really
I can't wait to see what people are going to do with it.
Yeah.
So, of course, one of the things I know is going to be probably the first question half the people are going to ask, to be able to use these spaces. Number one, does it cost anything?
No, everything is free.
And of course, second is going to be to come in and use it. Do you have to make an appointment? And are there going to be set times if they choose to make an appointment?
There are what we're calling open space hours. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we have 3 to 5 hours a day where people can come in and utilize the space, and we'll have a staff member in the space who can provide one-on-one assistance and kind of help people use the equipment and learn about it. And then all of the other hours the library is open, the spaces can be booked to use. And we're doing the bookings in 2-hour increments so people can come in, and our space is our space is very special, but it's special in the fact that sometimes I think there's going to be just one group that's able to use it at a time, because if you're doing something like we're doing now, even though we have this lovely audience listening to us, you're going to need quiet, and you're not going to be able to work with people doing other projects. But I think there will be times too when multiple people will be able to use the space at a time. So just like everything we try to do at the library, it's going to be developing relationships with the people who want to use the spaces, and working with them and trying to make it the best experience possible to use the equipment and to make it a really good experience. So we're willing to work with people in whatever way to make their storytelling dreams come true. I think the Fiber Art Studio and Heritage Lab are a little bit easier to book because the equipment can be used simultaneously without having to worry about that need for quiet or whatever. So, but the same thing, people can come in and use the sewing machines at any time the library is open, and during the open space hours, there will be somebody available to help with the equipment. In the Heritage Lab, again, they have amazing volunteers who are able to help use the scanners and the different equipment, and we'll also have the staff there in those hours. So.
Very nice. Now, speaking of being able to ask for help, obviously the other two spaces, there's going to be plenty if you've never used any of that type of equipment before, plenty of people that will be asking for assistance. But this space in particular, because I'm sure it's going to appeal to a lot of people to want to get involved with that have never touched a digital camera or any of this setup, especially this right here. What kind of assistance is going to be available for learning all of this? Are there going to be classes available to take, or will there be general instruction that will be available upon request?
We want to provide as much as that as possible, and one of the things we're looking for today is any feedback that anyone has on what they want to use the space for, or what they want to learn to be able to use the space. So on the whiteboard behind us, we have a place for you to put sticky notes if you have an idea, or there's a specific kind of class you want, or even if there's equipment that maybe we don't have that you think would be a benefit. You can write your idea down, stick it to the board, and we're taking all of that into consideration as we're planning workshops and things. But we do want to be able to teach people how to use the equipment. And it's a learning experience for us too. We've had the opportunity to practice on the podcasting equipment a little bit through our library podcast. But beyond that, a lot of the equipment got installed within the last week. So we are learning about it while we teach it. But I think that's a really great experience, and it makes, for a really just a good learning experience overall. So
I want to emphasize that even if we don't know how to use stuff, we're learning as well. And we want people to still be able to use the items. We're gonna work on it together to be able to use it. So even if you've never used this equipment before, we'll get through it together. We can do this.
And we've created trainings that are available through our Creative Spaces website, as well as different kind of how-tos and stuff through lynda.com and everything that are going to be available for people to use to learn as well.
Very nice. Mike?
I get to talk now?
No.
Oh, it's your call. No, so this, I really like the sense of community that this is kind of bringing in, especially for people that are kind of trying to get into the community. This is a very open and welcoming environment. So like kudos to you guys on that. I really wish we had something like this when we were starting almost 3 years ago, because we still don't know what we're doing at times. So this would have been fantastically helpful. But I guess my question that I want to ask is, how did this whole thing come about? Like, in terms of how long has this been in the works? Like, what was the main, starting point for the whole, process of getting all of this going?
So maker spaces have been something that have been happening in libraries for quite a while, and we've been trying to figure out how to best do it in Dallas, in our library. And this library is, for so many reasons, really special and unique. It's one of the biggest public library buildings in the United States, and when it was opened more of like a research library where each different floor of the library is separated by subject. So we were trying to figure out, like, how could we create spaces in the library that sort of assisted with the different subjects that we had going on, as well as met community needs in ways that some of the other maker spaces didn't. So we did, over the last year or so, we did a lot of research. We went to other maker spaces in DFW, and we saw what worked really well for them, and we figured out how we can make it work for us. And then we started planning and purchasing. And this space specifically, when the library opened in 1982, this was called the writer's room, and there were cubicles in the room with typewriters, so people could come in and write their books and or work on whatever writing they were independently. But as technology progressed, the need for that was less and less, and we were trying to find a way to sort of carry on that idea, but kind of expand it into the digital age. So this is where we got.
I mean, like, we still have typewriters,
and we do still have
There's
typewriters.
a couple kind of sprinkled around the room. Yeah.
They work.
They do work. Please use them.
They're fun to press.
And actually use them for writing. Don't just press them, please.
Actually, one of the typewriter we have in the corner, if you guys, before you leave, one thing we're trying to do is if everybody would write one sentence of a story, we're trying to write a story together. So you guys should get on that project.
I looked at it earlier and it's kind of weird already.
I would say, how off the rails has it gotten already?
It's already gone.
Okay. Is there any chance of saving it?
You can try.
Savings? Oh, I think you and me are going to be the only people that got that in this room. Yeah, Brad, anything that is you wanna ask?
So obviously these creative spaces have some great opportunities to be able to contribute to the community. But speaking of giving back to the community, the library does have a lot of other events that it puts on for the community. In fact, I believe you both were telling me before that there was a Game of Thrones event recently-ish for the series finale, and a few other things have happened around here. Does somebody want to talk a little bit about those and tell everybody what they can come and check out whenever something like it comes up?
Yeah, Carlos, tell us what your Game of Thrones has been.
Hang on. Was it more satisfying than the final season?
It was.
Yes, it was.
The music
It
was
much.
great.
It was great.
Yeah, it was the best part of the season.
I just want to propose, I've never seen an episode, but I just had to listen to all my friends complain about it.
I still complain about it.
You're valid. It's okay.
But yeah, so we have these really cool events. I was very happy about Game of Thrones. We had music, we had drinks, we had trivia, and everyone there was just blown away and excited to be a part of it. If you want to check it out, check the Dallas Library website, library Twitter. Yes. Sorry.
No, and we try to plan things like this pretty frequently. We also did a sci-fi after dark program in last month, which was a lot of fun. And we gave away sci-fi books for free. We watched a sci-fi movie, which was
More sci-fi trivia.
and we played trivia. And we also have Geek Night coming up, which you guys should talk about.
Okay, for the sci-fi thing, that's once a year. So we do that every year. Last year was Cthulhu themed. This year we did Godzilla and Mothra themed, which is why we have a Mothra chilling.
Nice.
But the Geek Night thing is an event that we do once a month where we play board games, like different kinds. So we do like a trivia based on the theme of the month. I believe last month was Pokemon.
Yes.
And this month is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yes. The TV show, not the movie.
Please.
So we have fun. The events that we do, it really depends on the floor. Since we're the floor that focuses more on like sci-fi, religion, literature, and like poetry and stuff, that's what we tend to focus on. But we get a little bit of leeway by trying to go for the Geek Night stuff. So, yeah.
Smart.
So, of course, for the after hours, you said that a lot of them usually do have food, drinks, just a lot of the things that makes an after hour event really viable for people to want to come to. The live entertainment especially is really helpful. So each of you have been here at the library for at least a few years, right?
I've been here for 2 years, almost 2 years. Carlos about 2 years.
A little over a year.
Okay, so ish.
Yeah.
In the time that you've been here, what's been your favorite event to be a part of?
You guys go first. I gotta think about this.
Well, the events that I've been a part of are the events that I planned myself.
Dealer's choice?
You beat me to it.
Well, because I have one for each, because the event that I like to work on that wasn't my own, I really liked the Game of Thrones event. That was probably my favorite one to work on.
Okay.
Also because it had a literal dragon hanging above the event.
Not a literal dragon.
An actual real dragon.
I was about to say, where did you guys find a real dragon?
Only in Dallas.
No, it was a lovely, scale-sized dragon that was hanging up. I still miss it.
Yeah.
What about you, Carlos?
So I have two favorites. Right now, Night at Geek Central is really fun because patrons just stop by and it's like a family night and everyone just has a blast. My favorite probably is Sci-Fi After Dark though, just because I love sci-fi and I don't know. I just love coming up with new names for it. This next one, I don't know the name for it, but it might be like Revenge of Son of Sci-Fi After Dark.
I think today is my favorite. I don't know. This has been so much fun. To get to open all these spaces all day and just see the community and everything and be able to offer all of this has been really cool. Plus, we get to have a party pretty soon. So, I
do love parties.
Yeah. It's going to be really good. So.
Well, speaking of the after party for this, who is the live entertainment for it? Is it a specific band, a DJ?
We have storytellers from Dallas Storytelling Guild, and we also have music performances from the Indian Heritage Foundation.
Okay.
So it's gonna be really cool. It's about storytelling through performance and that kind of thing. So to kind of capture what we've been doing all day in one thing. And Deep Ellen Brewery is sponsoring the drink, so there's that.
Back at it again.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we all are. Of course, we don't get to partake, but
the whole no drinking when you're working.
It's tough. It's really hard.
Are you at least allowed to eat while you're working?
I think we weren't allowed to eat at crap.
There's got to be a loophole in there somewhere. You guys got to find a loophole.
Well, if you're at least allowed to eat, that's something so that you won't just be passing out on your feet. That would be maybe
that is the goal.
A tad cruel. But nice. So yeah, the Dallas Public Library is something that while you guys have so many different branches, obviously the downtown branch is the biggest, and also maybe it's just my own perception, but it seems to be the one that tends to get overlooked the most because it's downtown and there's so much going on around it that it's easy to just look past the building, even though you guys do have so many cool things that go on here. So it does seem like there is a huge push for community at this library. let's say 1-2 years from now, with the introduction of these creative spaces that you're adding, all these events that you guys have going on, what would each of you really like to see happen with the community interaction here? Is there a certain goal or a certain thing that you would really like to see that if it happened, you would just say, yes, this is what I wanted. This is absolutely the best. I'm happy now.
You know, so as a library person, I think one of my goals is always that when I tell people what I do for a living, that they don't start talking about books immediately. I mean, we do have a lot of books. We have like 250,000 of them just on this floor alone. Fun fact, but just a few. But I want to the things we do are really cool. They're always free, and it's really incredible to have people here and experiencing them together. So it'd be really cool if I mention what I do, and then someone was like, "Oh, I went to this really great event there. Or I did this or I did that." That's what I want to see the library become. The community is really that community center that brings people together. What about y'all?
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Same. Good contribution, guys.
You're welcome.
So, now, both of you guys, I do have to say that it was kind of, let's say, heartwarming to hear that after being responsible for the research, to find somebody to come and fill the podcast spot, that you actually liked our stuff, not just for this, but personally, and started watching our stuff. That was kind of cool to hear. So I guess, what was your favorite thing that I've done for the show? And just pretend like he's not here.
Okay.
Totally kidding. But
He's really not. That's the sad thing.
but honestly, though, what do you guys look for in a podcast or a show to watch for something like this?
Well, for me personally, the podcasts that I listen to vary very differently because sometimes I'll listen to with my sister, My Favorite Murder or something. But when it comes to local podcasts, I do really enjoy listening to something that is really close to my personal interests, and you guys talk about stuff that is close to my personal interests. So considering that you guys have also interviewed voice actors from Dragon Ball Z, Let's Be Real, that's near and dear to my heart. So
it sounds like it's kind of just dumb luck that you found us.
No, that's not. It's not even true. No. It was one of the first ones on our list when we started researching, but we needed to expand out.
You guys are our favorite.
I mean, to be fair, of nerdy podcasts in the North Texas area, there aren't many of us. So I guess it does give us a bit of a leg up.
So win by default. Got it.
That's my favorite kind of win.
I mean, it's still a win. I'm not going to say no to it. But yeah, so yeah. Do you guys have anything else that any of you would like to specifically point out about the library, these spaces, any of your pet projects that you would like to have happen here?
Me? I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of really incredible stuff that's coming up over the next year. Fall is a really, really exciting and busy time for us. We're going to be working a lot with local authors and podcasters, storytelling, that kind of stuff. We're going to be having a pretty exciting big program on October 4th, right? Is that Elizabeth's program?
Is it the spook?
Oh, yes.
A Haunting at Central, Saturday, October 5th.
On the big screen.
Wagon tails. How dare you?
We're going to have paranormal investigators in here and things like that to get people in the spirit of Halloween, which is one of our favorite holidays.
Pun intended. The spirit of Halloween.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. So it's going to be really great. We're going to have, I think it's, we have Wagon Tales, the story time for dogs that we do at Main Street Garden Park on the second Saturday of every month. That's coming up. We also have the day of the Dia Parade downtown. We're
Dia de los Muertos?
Thank you. Yes, I can't say. Yeah. We're having.
We're participating in Parking Day.
Yeah. So, and then the library is also partnering with StoryCorps to, which you guys, I guess not everyone's familiar with that. StoryCorps goes around and partners with organizations to get people to like digitally share, to record their stories so they have them, forever. So the Oak Cliff Library branch is going to have their Airstream there. I'm sorry?
North Oak Cliff?
Yes, North Oak Cliff is going to, I'm new to Dallas, guys, I'm sorry. It's going to have their Airstream trailer there and people can go make appointments to share stories. And so we're hoping to be able to do some stuff like as the Story Center with them to be StoryCorps trained and things like that. So we have a lot of really exciting things happening in the future. The opening of this space is just the beginning of really amazing things to come.
Somebody in the back just held up a sign that says "Murder Mystery."
Oh yeah. Sorry. We're going to have a murder and mystery program at the end of October also.
Thank you.
So is that an event or prediction?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have a library-wide murder mystery event that's coming up soon.
Really?
How do I get in on that?
Do you want to be the victim?
Yes, actually.
I'll talk to you after the
Oh
podcast.
wait, is this real or is this? What are we doing?
No. Big question: is fake blood and overly dramatic acting required? Because I think we'd be both down for that.
Please.
Now it is.
Yeah, I'm in 100%.
I'm ready. You're hired. You're both hired.
Yes, so that we do. We have a lot of really cool stuff coming up here throughout the library system. And you guys can find out about it by going to the library's website, dallaslibrary2.org, and it's all on there. So.
Okay. We are a bit past the halfway mark here, so I guess the best thing to do is open up to audience questions and see if anybody has questions about these spaces, about the library, their events, or whatever.
Hello.
So, do we have questions? Okay. So, question is reservations. Making them. Where would you go to request that?
Do you guys not have that information? I'm just kidding.
We're supposed to get information.
You can, at the desk out front, you can stop and we can make reservations for you there. If you email us at libcreativespaces@dallascityhall.com, we can make reservations that way, or you can call the library. What's our phone number, guys?
Our phone number is 214-670-1668 for our floor, and we can chat with you.
Somebody call that number now to verify.
It's not gonna ring here. It's gonna go over there.
So there are lots of options for reserving.
Well, if it doesn't ring wherever you are, what good is it really?
There's multiple of us on this floor.
Anybody else? Questions? About the space? Yes.
I have a comment.
Okay.
I noticed you guys have conversation about Friday night, like the studio. And I would say, like, from outside perspective, what you guys are doing, what they do, breaking the boundaries, and bringing all the factions together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we did not pay him.
I think we just found our new hype man.
I mean, honestly, we really enjoy participating in any of these type of events. I mean, especially with something like the Dallas Library, because, I mean, I know from both of our experiences growing up, the library was a big thing that we got to participate in, and it, in general, has gotten a little less noticed across the board. And so anything that we can do to be able to bring a bit more attention, be able to get more people to recognize that there are opportunities around Dallas to be able to still get back in and it really rediscover what the library can be. We are all for, and especially now that these creative spaces have opened up and these new just really amazing opportunities to expand what can be done in the library. I mean, that is just something that we are really excited about, and so we love getting the chance to be able to talk about it. So. Yeah.
That's so nice.
I got super deep, super cool.
I know.
I mean, anybody else? Question, comment, concern? Random thoughts?
I actually come up with a question because you mentioned earlier that you went to other universities. I know that you went down and college, and I was wondering, since you saw things like that, would you all think to bring something that they have into space here, like over college, and the 3D printers stuff, and make their space, some make spaces have like kids that they can check out, something that you can go outside, something like that. Would you all think anything like that?
We are thinking about and talking about creating creative spaces in other parts of this library and at different branches through the system. We don't have like a specific vision for them yet, but yeah, I think like things like 3D printing. I've seen one of my very favorite things that we obviously doesn't quite fit with our subject here on this floor is the woodworking and stuff that some of the other spaces have. Not that I should be allowed near sharp objects, but
it's a direct cut.
There's some really cool things that I think we'll definitely be able to do in the future, and especially since it's all been so like awesome and gone so well, I think we really see some cool things come out of it for sure.
Yeah, especially with looking at like patron demand. So if we see that that's what you guys want, we can try to make that happen. So just be vocal, I guess. Let us know what you want.
We're here for you.
Yeah, and that is actually something else that, I mean, I know the other floors were really vocal about too, is if there was something that you thought could be added to the space that would make it even more usable, that there's still a lot of room for expansion, a lot of room for new ideas to be brought in, and of course, the most important thing, if you or somebody you know has something that they would like to donate or contribute to the space to help expand it, that is always welcome. Just to be able to have that expansion or that addition done just a little bit faster. So, I mean, if you know anybody that has equipment that they want to donate or are looking to donate, obviously this is a fantastic cause and it'll get a lot of use out of it. So, Any other questions? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to record the traditional stories that are here in Dallas among the people in the city of Dallas?
Yep, we are working on some things and figuring out the best ways to do that. We really want to work with the genealogy and history floor on that because they opened the Heritage Lab and we're trying to figure out ways for us to coordinate and work together to record those stories and keep them.
I'm not talking about family histories.
Oh.
I meant traditional stories like the Native American stories that are known in the community, traditional Laotian stories, the traditional, all of the foundational bedrock culture of all the different groups that have come to Dallas.
That's what I'm very interested in. Yeah, I would love to.
No one recording those.
I think definitely we would love to do that.
Little things in our homes that there's a need for a systematic way to do.
Yeah, for recording like Indigenous or like Native American stories, we would love to, especially like different groups that would come in to record them, like let's say like different centers or like organizations that want to do that, definitely can come in to do that. So yes, please tell everyone to come record their stories.
Yeah, and we can talk more about like ways we can systematically do that and work with different groups and things as well. So for sure.
And that actually does bring up one other thing that I know I talked with you about last time I was here, and it's something that definitely interests me. The library itself taking advantage of this equipment to be able to make their own stories, make their own videos. Are there plans currently for that to happen to, make the library YouTube famous, as they say?
Oh, we do have a YouTube channel already, and we are definitely going to utilize the space to continue with our video making, and we are working on a podcast. We have one, Pond, that is a nature podcast that we put out now, and we also are working on the second season of Street View podcast. Carlos, why don't you talk about Street View? We've got it.
Street View, right, I do work on that. So Street View is a way we reach out to our homeless neighbors and get their stories and over different I am blanking on the word. Categories. No, that's not it. But we get their stories and we compile them, and we're going to release them hopefully around Thanksgiving time. We're going to do that around the backpack challenge if we do that this year. We're doing that this year. Yeah, we're doing
What's the backpack challenge?
So people from the library, staff and such, and anyone who wants to donate supplies, fills up a backpack, and we hand it out to the community. Not just one backpack, obviously. There's multiple backpacks.
Only one backpack.
One very large backpack.
Yeah, so we, the day before Thanksgiving, we hand out backpacks filled with supplies that our homeless neighbors could use
to get through the winter.
Yes, to get through the winter. Blankets and such.
From like toiletries and blankets and like raincoats to like socks and stuff to keep warm.
Nice. Very cool.
So yeah, we're doing those things. We are also working, we have what we call a personal librarian program where we have basically we give out like book recommendations, movie recommendations, and that kind of thing over the internet. So people can write in and ask for, like, say, this is what I like, can you help me pick something new? And we'll write back and tell you what you can do. And so we're gonna work on some podcasts and videos that go along with that with our personal librarians to try to get people more engaged in reading and using materials in new ways.
I would really like to make a short horror film with some of the props that we have in the back of the library.
Okay, so now I'm intrigued. Continue.
I am too.
Can I go into more detail? Is it all right if I go into? So we have a little plush doll of the bee from the Bee movie. And I want it to Barry B. Benson, and I would like it to be the main character. And by main character, I mean the villain.
That's what I was just about to ask. So he's
the villain.
Something about that
in a horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a horror short story.
Yes.
I'm in.
With Barry B. Benson?
So you're trying to take the B movie meme and just take it to its logical conclusion. I get it.
Yes. I'm gonna make this happen.
Very nice.
Whatever funds you need, I got
We'll be in touch afterwards.
He doesn't even say that about our own show, so that's saying something.
I feel vindicated.
I don't know about that.
I'm so happy.
Speaking of props in the back of the library.
Okay.
Whoa, where is this going?
For all of y'all's events, there have been some very interesting ones that I've seen still sticking around. And I've seen a lot of really creative endeavors by staff members here. I know that for the Game of Thrones, there is a life-size Night King in the back. There was, you had talked about Cthulhu back there, like an actual Cthulhu.
Our Cthulhu is currently chilling in the back area where the rest of the books are.
Very nice. What's the strangest prop that has been made that everybody in here needs to know about?
He's right.
She just turned around and just pointed like you. Yeah, she's the prop.
No, she's the one that makes all the props. It's Jessica in the back, and I'm looking at her because I wanted to get
So
something.
can we talk about the Night King right now? Because
I wanted to talk about the Krampus, but go off, I guess.
It was Santa first, and then Santa became Krampus this last year because we have folktales, and then Krampus became the Night King for Game of Thrones. But now
Now he's a Night King, but as a mermaid.
he's a mermaid Night King. Yeah, he has a shell bathing suit on and fins and a wig also. So that's where we
Do you want
are.
to take a picture of it later?
So much, yes.
So we have a lot of creative energy that we really do want to utilize to make the community a better place. Yes.
He's having the time of his life.
I'm sorry right now, so am I. Something about that image just, I love it.
Well, we'll wheel him out so you guys can see him on your before you leave. Don't worry.
Can you go get him? Can somebody go get him now?
Like there's something about that. We need that in this room. That is amazing.
He's on his way. Don't worry.
Oh, somebody's I was totally kidding, but I guess asking you shall receive. Okay.
It's a library. We like to meet demands.
He's coming.
Oh.
What else?
That was super ominous.
We
He's gonna be here
We did
soon.
have a life-size dragon earlier this year.
I miss the dragon.
I mean, winter is coming after all.
Yes.
Yeah, give it a couple months.
Maybe.
Winter comes in January.
Maybe.
So Carlos built Mothra, and that was quite an experience.
Yes, so I had a week to do it. It was my own fault. Poor planning.
Thank you for saying that.
Okay, sure. Continue.
We needed to make a Mothra. And so I did.
As one logically and always finds themselves needing to make a Mothra. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, why did you go for Mothra rather than going for the full Godzilla?
It was his monster.
Mothra is cooler. It's
Wow.
Yeah,
I
Like no one ever.
I know they're fighting words, but I also agree with that. Mothra is better.
stylistically Mothra.
okay. Wow. I feel severely disappointed in both of you. You guys are saying Mothra's better than Godzilla. A, that's just incorrect. But B, if you're going to be choosing the best monster, I think we should all acknowledge Mecha Godzilla is the best.
I was gonna say Mewtwo.
That is a completely different category.
Did you not write it?
Oh, it's a picture.
I know, but I don't know.
Okay. Pictures.
I want him in this room now.
Okay. I can go.
I'm kidding.
No. That needs to be in here.
Oh, wow.
We could get him.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to.
I'm like, if
There
you
you go, guys.
Carlos.
That is horrifying.
That is amazing. Oh my.
ask for it, he's gonna go get it.
So I just want to point out we're about 45, 50-ish minutes in, and it
50 minutes in,
and it finally fell off the rails. This is a new record for us.
Normally it takes about 20 minutes at most, and our show has gone into the very random territory. I have to say, I feel very proud of us that we've held it together in a single line of thought this long.
It's the coffee.
Yeah, well,
the
normally the
monster.
coffee's our downfall.
Our downfall.
Because we have a lot of it in abundance when we, especially when we go live.
I guess it also helps too when we actually like game plan and come up with what we're gonna say and
Go
don't just
figure.
wing it.
Go figure. Preparation tends to make for a cohesive conversation.
Okay, so let's
Who knew?
never do it again.
I don't know. It does feel kind of weird. I think ADD fits us very well. Although this has definitely already gone to the very ADD territory. So I guess to go ahead and start wrapping
Okay,
up.
here he comes.
Thank
Yeah, he's in a
you.
rocking chair, by the way.
Carlos, thank you
Yeah, he's
so
over
much.
Holy wow.
We are.
That's not what we do all day.
That's my son.
Yes.
Just-
Everybody needs to turn around and appreciate the wonderfulness that is that. Just that.
So the picture on the phone did not do that justice. I just want to kill that with all the fire.
Hey, have fun.
I love it so much.
That is horrifying.
That is exactly why that thing needs to be out for the public to enjoy every day.
That thing's never needs to see the light of day.
He comes out sometimes. Only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Please
So,
tell me
okay.
those sometimes are when the sun has gone down and the library is a bit more on the dim side, because that would be amazing.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
now,
when he walks.
I just now, honestly, I need to know that you guys will play pranks on each other and just move him throughout the
Ooh,
space.
boy, howdy. So about pranks, we do that with the Barry B. Benson puppet instead.
No, you need to do it with that.
We do
have. I like doing it with the Barry B. Benson.
He was at my desk when I came back from vacation.
Like whoever's the last one out at the night just needs to put him somewhere when the first person comes in, like in a dark room, and they flip the lights on and see that.
So,
The thing
so,
is that you're saying things that we've already done before.
Good.
so are we talking like a less creepy elf on the shelf?
No, that's Barry.
No, that is a more horrifying.
Are you kidding me? Elf on the shelf is terrifying. What are you talking
Are
about?
we really about to do this in front of everybody?
Have you seen like people dress up as Elf on the Shelf and then pretend to be it? Because that's worse.
Okay,
so Night King
Elf on the
came
shelf,
out.
in my mind, is one of the creepiest things ever created.
Oh God. Okay, so we're really gonna do this. Okay. No, please. But by all means, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I'm sorry, at what point did it ever come up as a good idea to say, okay, this tiny doll that has like these dead eyes staring at children needs to be something that children are mandatorily exposed to and just randomly move them around while the child is sleeping?
You guys might wanna get comfortable. If he's on a soapbox, he's gonna be there for a while.
No, that's the extent of just. That is terrifying. I mean, there's an entire subgenre of the horror films about that exact thing. How is that not the worst idea in the world?
Are you thinking of the Puppet Master series?
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Child's Play? Come on.
Hey, Brad. Hey, remember when I said that we were doing a really good job of keeping it on the rails?
Hey, we need a good tangent every now and then.
Sure. Just
Anyway,
gonna attack Elf on the Shelf. Sure. Hey.
any chance I get, yes. At least I have a few supporters.
Oh, we should do an Elf on the Shelf.
We should
That'd be
absolutely
fun.
not do it.
We can move it around the library.
Absolutely not. That's because there's a ghost.
Whoa. Hang on. No. We've got time. Go ahead.
No.
We just make up ghost stories to scare Carlos. There's
Yeah.
no action.
Oh,
That's usually how it works.
It's actually just the Cthulhu.
All right, well, on that note, I'm just going to leave then.
Well, we are right about at the hour mark, so thank you all for sticking around as long as you have. You all are troopers, and we appreciate it.
Yours is burning it lightly, let's be real.
We did not get a chance to bring this up before, but if this is the first time you have heard of us, which there's a decent chance this is, we are Dallas Geek. You can find us on pretty much all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, of course.
Do we have a Snapchat?
No, we do not have a Snapchat.
That costs more money.
Okay, so let's not do that. Yeah.
And of course, we do not have a MySpace because that is still a thing.
Taylor Swift has one, so I think we should.
Yeah, but we're not Taylor
And
Swift.
Disco has one.
Nah. Oh, and we actually have a Reddit now, so that's a thing.
You have a Reddit?
We do now, yes.
Have you not?
If you would,
We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
And of course, we do put out a new show every Tuesday and Friday, and we have a live show usually 2 to 3 Saturdays a month. So if you want to check us out, you can go check us out on any of those locations. It's just Dallas Geek anywhere, and of course our website dallasgeekofficial.com. All of that plus the articles about everybody that we've interviewed, all the things we've done, that's all on there as well. So we would love it if you would go check some of our videos out, and of course let us know if you enjoy it. We always love hearing from people, and if any of you happen to be at any nerdy conventions coming up, we'd love for you to come and say hello to us. And of course, shameless plug time for the library. Where can people go follow the library and all of their stuff?
Visit our website, dallaslibrary2.org. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Dallas Library. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think yes.
And
No one's saying no, so yes.
and also check out our Creative Spaces website. It's dallaslibrary2.org/creative spaces. And come hang out. It's free to come hang out here, and we have 8 floors to explore. We will leave the Night King Mermaid out for you to come see.
No, we will not.
It'll be at the Story Center. You can.
I want to meet the ghost.
I do not.
Okay, all right.
There's no.
So with that, thank you all for coming and checking us out. Thank you for being a wonderful audience.
Thank you for tolerating us for an hour.
And of course, this is Brad and Mike from Dallas Geek at the Dallas Public Library saying, see ya.
Everybody wave.